One of my first jobs right after graduating college was being an arts educator. I would teach adults. We would get a lot of young professionals that would come in who were really good at something in their 9 to 5, and then they would take an art class to de-stress or just get out of their head and be creative. In teaching adults, I learned very quickly it was like being Martha Stewart or Rachel Ray. When you're teaching, you have to give step-by-step instructions on how to do something. Screen print onto fabric, there's just really a few steps you can do it in a few minutes with all the prep work done on the back end. If I didn't give them step-by-step instructions on how to prepare, getting all their ingredients out onto the table. When you're screen printing, you're holding down a screen and you're pulling a squeegee through, but for the pros in the studio, we knew that there was a certain sound the squeegee would make, so we used to say, like, hold it at a 45-degree angle, pull, and make sure you hear the screen sing. And it was those little anecdotes that help people remember how to do it, and then seeing the look on their face when they would lift up their screen, see the fabric printed, they were like, oh my God, I can't believe I did it. Well, I didn't do it, you did it. I gave you the steps and you did it. Translating that into real estate, there's a whole set of vocabulary words that people aren't familiar with. There's a whole process, and that's why we strongly advise you use a real estate professional when you're buying, selling, or investing in real estate. And I still make my teacher handouts like I did for my screen printing on fabric students that give people bullet points with some quirky little jokes so that the information sinks in. Some of this information is really dry. That's why we like to hold our clients' hands when we're going through the buy or sell process. But it's also really nice when we're in the moment of, let's say, step 2 or step 3, that we can always tell our clients, remember that handout we gave you at the beginning? If that's helpful to sort of de-stress on what we're about to go, what step we're in now and what's on the horizon, then go back to that. And a lot of times people do applaud having those teacher handouts at the beginning, in the middle, and at the end, because they always feel like they know what's coming up and there's never any surprises. You have steps 1 through 10, and if we're just talking about what we're doing in the moment, if we're at step 2 or step 3, if you don't know what step 9 is, you might look back and say, like, I wish I would have known that this was on the horizon, or I maybe would have done step 2 or step 3 differently. So that's some of the aspects of teaching art, and then also working with adult students that have really helped me working with clients.